The Lenovo Center here in Raleigh, North Carolina plays host to one of 3 games across the NHL here today, as the Carolina Hurricanes will host the Los Angeles Kings here in this showdown on the East Coast. West Coast versus East Coast. Coast to coast we go, and we are underway here from Carolina. Sebastian Aho brings it up for the Kings. He gets pestered on his way in, and the Kings with an early takeaway. And now an intercept in center here by the Kings. Here comes Walker, who drops it off to no man's land. Adrian Kempe gets there for Los Angeles. Here he comes trying to get around Miller, and he is unable to do so. Here's Miller bringing it up ahead for the Hurricanes. Aho gets it, cross-ice Walker into the slot, pestered to the outside. Ehlers has it taken away by Kopitar. Adrian Kempe crosses the red line, brings it up for Los Angeles, floats it back behind the net where Miller gets there for the Canes. Ehlers, Svechnikov fires off a body in front, tipped towards the crease, and it goes back behind the net. Anderson gets there for the Kings, turns it over to Gostisbehere. And now Doughty, Stankoven now keeps it for a moment, but now the Kings bring it in. Fiala feeds it in deep for the Kings. Kopitar gets there. Good hustle there. Back up to the point. And pinned against the boards. Blake escapes the pack with it. Here he comes. 2-on-1. Blake poked away beautifully. Back behind the net. Centering pass. A diving attempt intercepted by Fiala. And here come the Kings. Armia drops it off into the center. A shot denied by Rasmus Anderson. And our first stoppage comes 2.5 in. Face-off control by the Canes in their own end. Chatfield feeds it up. And the Canes get it out of the zone. Here's Carrier. Intercepted for a moment in center. Martineau gets it back. Here's Gostisbehere up top. He gets pestered by Edmondson. Surrounded by Kings there up top. Here comes Quentin Byfield to Fogle. Fogle back behind the net to Armia. He's pins against the boards. Crowd loud here in Carolina to start this game. Kept in at the point. Edmondson taken away by Stoll as he tried to get it into the crease, and it goes back behind the net. Gostisbehere quickly to Carrier. He carries it into the zone. Centering pass, a shot, blocker down. Comes into the corner. Battle for it between Carrier and Armia. Up against the boards along the near half wall, controlled by Los Angeles. Clark up ahead to Kuzmenko. He sends it on the doorstep, and it's denied. A little bit too far on that pass attempt, and Carolina will get it out. Hall to Stahl, offsides. Face-off controlled by Carolina. Nystrom bobbles on his way in. Floats in deep, controlled by Phillip. Out in front, blocked down. The rebound goes out to the right wing circle, controlled by Dumoulin. And the Kings get it out. Perry back behind the net, pestered by Robinson from behind. Kings take over in their own end. Big hit behind the play. Nystrom gets cut off and neutralized by Mallet. Right in front of the Carolina bench. Phillip gains control, then turns it over. Hellenis feeds it in deep. Battle for it in the corner. Carolina survives. Stankoven gets poked. He turns it over. Perry gets there in the corner. Floats it into the crease. Out in front. Stopped by Anderson. Goes into the corner. Stankoven there. He can't get it out. Dumoulin gets there. Out in front, Mallet. Into the slot. Loose puck available. Denied by Anderson again. Into the corner it goes. Pressure on. Another stop by Anderson. LaFerriere up top. Bobble. Kept in. Floats to the right wing circle. Mallet is there. Mallet tried to turn. He gets poked into the corner. Long possession here for the Kings, and Carolina finally gets it out. Back into neutral ice. Mallet feeds it in deep here for the Kings. Nikishin floats it out of the zone. Kings will have to reset. Dumoulin turns it over. Nystrom with a big hit in center. There's a Carolina player on the ground as Kempe's got it. He brings it up ahead and denied by Anderson. Nikishin off the boards just sends it out of harm's way, and icing is called. Wow, the Kings were on the attack for a long time on that turn. Good defense by Carolina, and Anderson has already made a couple good stops in this one. And here's a good stop on the other end for the Kings. Face-off controlled by Fiala out in front. Anderson grabs it. No further play. 12:47 to go in the opening period. Off to a fast start here tonight. Back to the rooftops per usual here for the Hurricanes. Here at home, one of the loudest venues in the NHL. Face-off controlled by the Kings. Anderson up a body in front. Chatfield, I believe, got a piece of it on its way through. And now here come the Canes. Hall gets pestered by Doughty, kept in, and now out of the zone. Canes will have to reset. Gostis Bear poked at the red line, loose puck. Bobbled and controlled by Carolina. Hall brings it in, back behind the net. Hall tried to send it in out in front. Fiala's there for Los Angeles. And here come the Kings. Walker with a good defense on the cutoff of Kevin Fiala. Hall up ahead, Sebastian Aho. Bobbles on his way in. Kevin Fiala for the Kings. Tried to squirt his way to the inside. Walker, good defense on the attack by Carolina. Sebastian Aho, pestered from behind, tried to feed it in, keeps it alive, drops it off, down inside, Doughty with the intercept. Kuzmenko turns back here for the Kings. Carrier now, Martin Hook, Sebastian Aho. Carrier, tried to get off a shot, good stick by Byfield, and the Kings turn back. Holinas turns it over. Martinook's got it to the near side, and Chatfield up ahead. Carrier brings it up. Carrier hit by his own man. It floats back behind the net. Fogle brings it out of the zone. Quentin Byfield now has it on the near side. Byfield goes inside, and he tried to take it in, and Holinas denied by Anderson. 10:21 to go in the opening period. Just about halfway through this opening period, scoreless here from Carolina. Ehlers, surrounded by Kings, brings it up, floats it on net, and Kumper makes the save. 10:07 to go in the opening period. Face-off here in the Los Angeles end. And it's controlled by the Kings as it floats to the far side. Edmondson gets there for Los Angeles. They exit the zone. Kopitar can't handle it. And now the Canes turn it back over to the Kings. Kopitar going wide. Kopitar into the corner, back behind the net, out in front now, takes it in, and Anderson sprawls out. 9:34 to go in the opening period. Frederik Anderson off to a good start in this game. Face-off in the Carolina end, just over halfway through this opening period. Controlled by the Canes, a turnover. Kempe can't handle it, and the Canes will exit. Ehlers trying to get his way around, goes into the corner. Kempe gets there first for the Kings. Ceci in the game for the first time. LaFerriere bobbled and turns it over at the red line. Miller gets around, inside, denied, rebound, denied by Kumper. Good move to get into the inside, and then Kumper says no. Byfield will face off against Stankoven in the Kings' end. Controlled by the Canes. Blake on the right wing floats on net, and Kumper finds it and stops play again. 8:51 to go in the opening period. Byfield against Stankoven again, controlled by the Kings. Dumoulin turns it over. Back up to the point. Gostisbehere fires, blocked down by Kumper. Comes to the near side. Armia pinned against the boards. Canes keep it in. Out in front, Blake all alone. Drops it off the goalpost. It's still loose, and Kumper finds it. Wow! 8:22 to go. And what a chance there for the Hurricanes. This one deflected off the pipe, and it was just sitting in the blue paint. .8:22 to go in the opening period. Canes on the attack. Face-off controlled by Carolina. Comes to the near side. Gostisbehere out in front, intercepted by Mallett. Kings can't get it out, and now they do with Clark. Mallett with a bobble, keeps it alive. Mallett centering, intercepted by Chatfield. And Stankoven will exit. Stankoven waiting for his friends, takes it into the slot, flips it forward off a body in front. Kings get it out. Chatfield the neutralized, pestered by Mallett. Stoll on the other side. Stankoven bobbled on his way in. Floats back out into neutral ice. And now the Canes just field it in deep. 7 minutes to go. Opening period still scoreless here in Raleigh. Hellenis gets taken away from behind by Martinhook. Turns back for the Canes. Martinhook into the slot, taken away. Back out to Miller on the outside. Brings it back in. Miller cuts to the net. And it's taken away by Clark from behind. Adrian Kempe. Head of steam up ahead. Kempe goes wide. Takes it in and fires a dart. Saved by Anderson. Kempe keeps it alive. Into the corner. Pinned against the boards along the half wall. And the Canes will exit with Svechnikov. Svechnikov looking, goes wide, inside, diving attempt denied by Kumper. Goes into the corner. Battle for it along the boards. Martinhook inside, Svechnikov can't handle it. Kept in by Walker. Svechnikov can't get there. Stoll on the doorstep, denied by Kumper. Comes to the near side. Martinhook there for the Canes, and he's intercepted by Kevin Fiala. Kings will exit the zone. Adrian Kempe feeds it in for Los Angeles. Stahl turns back here for the Hurricanes. Takes it across the red line before he's taken away by Ceci. Fast-paced opening period here in Raleigh. Both teams with chances out in front, but neither team is able to come through as of yet. We're under 5 minutes to go in the period. Edmondson gets pinned against the boards, floats to the outside. Canes keep it in. Svechnikov can't handle it. And Fiala kept in by Martin. Martin fires. Kumper lays out and stops the puck. 4:31 to go in the opening period, and that's the second time Kumper has had to lay down to just find it and stop it from going in. And look at this attempt. And Kumper just off the glove on that diving attempt on the inside. Good effort from both sides. Very entertaining scoreless opening period here from Raleigh continues with the Kings winning the faceoff. Doughty turns it over. Phillip inside, off a body, and Kumper finds the puck. Face-off control by the Kings. Fiala turns it over. Phillip fires off the side of Kumper. Kuzmenko gets there for the Kings. He'll bring it out. And he flips it in deep. Under 4 minutes to go in the opening period. Still scoreless here from Raleigh. Phillip up ahead. Head of steam. Cuts inside. Drops it off to the outside. Nystrom. Left wing circle. Flips it towards the net. Blocked down by Kumper. Stays into the trapezoid back behind the net. Floats to the far side. Anderson gets there for the Kings. Stretch pass to Kevin Fiala, who gets hit hard as he goes into the zone. Nikishin cut off by Kopitar. LaFerriere into the zone. Goes inside, and then it pokes into the corner. LaFerriere inside pass, tipped inside, and Anderson finds the puck. 2:56 to go in the opening period. Face-off controlled by the Kings. Armia sends it towards the net. Rebound out in front. Fogle off the side of the net. Still loose on the inside. It goes back behind the net. Nystrom gets there for the Canes. He's pestered by Fogle. Armia floats it inside. Canes take over and they'll exit the zone. Ehlers up ahead. Ehlers gets around one man, takes it inside, drops it off, and Kumper stops it again. Sebastian Aho let it fly, and with 2:18 to go in the first period, we remain scoreless as Kumper has made a number of good saves, and this one on Sebastian Aho reaches up and snares it. And Aho knew he just missed one as Kumper got hit down low as well and then just finds the puck. Beautiful save, good awareness as Sebastian Aho let it fly. 2 minutes to go in the opening period, still scoreless. Both of these teams have been on the attack on both ends of the ice. Fast-paced opening period of play here from Carolina. Fogle can't handle it in neutral ice. Aho takes it away for a moment. Battle in front of the benches. Byfield gets free. Outside Armia. Goes wide. Denied. Rebound controlled by Carolina. Ehlers exits the zone but turns it right back over. Ryan Dumoulin with a little bit of a bobble feeds it into the zone. Chatfield there for the Hurricanes. Now Svechnikov waits for help to come. Slowly works his way in, trying to get around one man. Good defense by Dumoulin. Hellenius tried to cut inside, gets around, and then Blake takes it away. Good defense by the Canes. Here comes Carrier. Carrier fires, denied. Kumper sprawls out to stop it before they can have a try on the rebound. 1 minute to go in the period. Face-off controlled by the Canes. Miller up top, inside, taken away. Bobble in the slot. Hall keeps it alive. He turns and fires. He whiffed. And here come the Kings. Kempe keeps it alive. Drops it off for Kopitar. A long shot denied by Anderson. Kempe back up to the point. Turned over. Here comes Blake. Jailbreak opportunity. Blake works in. Denied by Kumper. 21 seconds to play. Face-off controlled by Los Angeles in their own end. Maybe one final push here for the LA Kings. LaFerriere feeds it in. Final 10 seconds tick down on this power play. A turnover, a shot, stick to side by Anderson. Kopitar up top, Clark lets it fly. Gloved down by Anderson as time expires. And we have hit the end of the opening period here in Raleigh. We're scoreless, but it's been entertaining. Here from Carolina. Start of the second period here from Raleigh, North Carolina. No score after one between these two teams. Fast-paced up and down the ice. Goaltenders playing well to this point. And we are back underway here to start the second period. Walker feeds it up to Sebastian Aho, brings it in. Now Svechnikov goes wide. Centering pass intercepted on the inside. And here come the Kings. Adrian Kempe, head of steam up ahead, centering pass, bobbled, still loose in the slot, and Miller gains control for Carolina. Doughty keeps it in at the top. Looks into the corner for Kopitar. Kopitar keeps it alive, back up to the point, and Doughty. Anderson, errant pass off the wall of Ferrier. Into the corner. Kempe picks up the loose change, back up top, Doughty. Doughty fires, tipped and wide of the net. Anderson might have gotten a piece of it. Back up top to Anderson, now Downey. Left wing circle, bobbled, and floats to the near side. Carolina gains control. Ehlers flips it towards Kempe, denied, and Kumper stops play. 18:28 to go, just underway here in the second. No score from Carolina. Let's take a look at Frederik Andersen in between the pipes. He's made a couple good saves in this game. Kings have been on the attack all game long. And both of these goaltenders battling on this one so far. Early stages of the second, still scoreless here from Raleigh. Face-off controlled on net by the Kings. Battle for it all on the near half wall. Fogle tried to escape. Now Edmondson gets there for the Kings. Wraps around his own net. Quentin Byfield now to Clark, and the Kings will exit their own zone. Armia brings it up ahead, waits for his help to come, drops it off into the slot, denied. Chatfield, good defense, and the Hurricanes get it out. Hall gets cut off, good poke check from behind, and the Kings will get it out again. Armia, centering pass intercepted by Blake. And Carolina will get it out again. Here's Gostisbehere up ahead, going wide. Inside pass goes all the way through. Pinned against the wall is Fogle, kept in by Carrier. Now Turcotte gets there for the Kings. Carrier's got it, back behind the net. Off the side of the goal as it comes into the corner. Clark gets there for the Kings. Edmondson now gains control, and Los Angeles attempts to get it out, and they will with Edmondson. He brings it up ahead for the Kings. He gets cut off up top. And Carolina turns back the other way. Carrier cut off across the red line. Robinson keeps it going for Carolina. Carrier to the inside. Stahl back up to the point. Nystrom. Nikishin long shot denied as it got all the way through. Carrier keeps it alive for Carolina. Along the goal line. Takes it in. Tipped around and controlled by Los Angeles. Turcotte back the other way out of the zone for the Kings. Helenas. Back behind the net. He gets cut off. Turcotte keeps it alive. Back up to the point and out of the zone. It goes all the way down. Clark resets it to Helenas. Bobbles over to Turcotte. On the near side, Fiala. Fiala tried to send it inside, and a good cutoff on the outside by Carolina. Stahl brings it up ahead for the Canes. Long time without a whistle here in the second. Here's a bobble. Fiala nearly took control. It floats on net. And Anderson will stop play with 15 minutes to go in the second period. Face-off control by the Kings. Dumoulin outside. Ceci lets it fly. Tipped around into the slot, and Carolina gains control. Svechnikov clears. And he's intercepted at the red line by Ceci. Both of these defenses playing well in this game. Which team will break through is the question. Kempe stays on side. Pestered on his way in. Floats back behind the net. Miller up ahead to Svechnikov. He brings it up for the Canes. Svechnikov intercepted on the inside by Ryan Dumoulin. And here comes Laferriere. Kempe surrounded by Canes, drops it back off to Laferriere, who feeds it in deep. Miller gets it into the trapezoid behind his own net. Svechnikov will bring it out for Carolina. He feeds it in deep. Ceci pinned against the wall, loose puck out in front. Los Angeles gains control, trying to get it out of their end, and they will with Ryan Dumoulin. Up ahead to Laferriere. He gets pestered on his way in. Neither team can keep a possession alive in the offensive zone. Jankowski goes outside looking for a center. One-timer! Denied! Rebound on her front, controlled by the Kings. That was one of the best tries Carolina's had in this game. Ceci turns it over. Jankowski out in front. Backhand try denied by Kumper. No further play. The Kings on the attack. Turn into defense mode right away. We've gone up and down all game long. And it just continues here in the second period. Still scoreless. One of these teams trying to break through against these outstanding goaltenders. Face-off control by the Kings in their own end. Fogle brings it up, centering pass, Byfield tipped off his skate and out of play. Another block shot out in front by the Hurricanes. And with 12:35 to go in the second, we get a stoppage. Face-off control by the Kings. Perry blocked out in front by Gostisbehere. And here comes Blake up ahead. Blake drops it off. Hall inside, tipped around. Blake back up top. Stankoven blocked out in front. Good defense by the Kings. And they get it out of the zone. Mallett brings it in for Los Angeles. Takes it back behind the net. Back up top. Anderson lets it fly. Tipped around, and Anderson snares it. 11:56 to go. Face-off control by Carolina. Floats to the near side, and Blake inside Stankoven, now outside Hall. Hall sends it towards the net, stick to side, and goes back behind the net, a battle for it, and Anderson gets there for the Kings. Kevin Fiala drops it off to Kuzmenko. Goes wide. Kuzmenko, centering pass, denied off a body in front. Fiala can't handle it. Turcotte trying to pick up the loose change, but it's Stankoven who gets there for Carolina. Gostisbehere can't handle it. They exit the zone. Sebastian Aho up ahead, waiting for help to come. Goes wide, fires a shot, saved. The rebound plucked out of the air, and Kumper denies it. 10:48 to go. Face-off control by LA. Dumoulin quick pass, Armia up ahead. Goes wide, and he's cut off behind the net. Out in front, one-timer by Fogle, denied by Anderson. Back behind the net. Nikishin gets there for the Carolina Hurricanes, and they get it out. There's Phillip up ahead. Centering pass intercepted by Byfield. Byfield trying to exit the zone. They turn it over. Jankowski inside, can't handle it. Armia loose, and the Kings will get it out. Here's Quentin Byfield. Byfield trying to get around his man. He does, and Anderson plucks it out of the air. Over halfway through this second period now, and we're still scoreless. Face-off controlled by the Canes in their own end. Carrier brings it up ahead, goes wide, tried to send it downstairs, and it's intercepted by Kempe, who took a hit behind the play. Martinook dangles and neutralized, turns it over to Kopitar. Kopitar, LaFerriere, shot denied by Anderson. 9:14 to go. Which team will break through? Face-off control by the Kings. Clark lets it fly, goes wide. Into the corner. Carolina gets there. Martinook pestered. As the Kings try to get it out, they can't. Kopitar on the doorstep. Denied. Anderson. Rebound. Never got through. Martinook turns back for Carolina. Looking for a center. Drops it off Miller. Couldn't get a clean one off. Martinook back behind the net. He's pinned against the wall by LaFerriere, who gets knocked down. Edmondson feeds it up, and Kempe exits the zone. Adrian Kempe cut off by Miller. Stahl has it tipped into neutral ice. Miller gains control at the red line. He turns it immediately over. Kuzmenko dangles, sends it inside, and it's intercepted again on its way through. 8 minutes to go in the second period, still scoreless. Miller inside, couldn't handle it, and Clark gains control for the Kings. Clark will exit, crosses the red line, feeds it in deep. Anderson goes out of net to get there. Now Carolina brings it out. Aho's pass intercepted by Kuzmenko in center. Up ahead, LaFerriere backtracks, and he pokes all the way back. Another good poke check by Carolina on a King player on its way in. Perry will bring it out here for Los Angeles. Perry going wide. Works it back behind the net. Gets pinned against the wall in the trapezoid. Mallett's got it. Back up to the point. Anderson off the blocker of Anderson. Perry keeps it alive. And a one-time try up top by Dowdy never got through. And Walker brings it up. Here's Svechnikov outside. Svechnikov centers it to the inside. Dowdy gains control. Loose puck on the center. Denied. Rebound goes wide into the corner. Another good chance there for the Kings. For the Hurricanes. Mallett on the point, brings it in. He's pestered on his way in. Svechnikov takes it away. A bobble at the red line. Nystrom keeps it alive. Going wide, drops it off. Phillip into the slot, can't handle it. Goes into the corner. He's pestered by Perry, who takes it away. Good defense on both ends of the ice. Helenas off the wall to Perry. Perry, left wing circle, drops it off. Intercepted by Jankowski. And here comes Carolina. Nystrom inside. Phillip, a shot off of skate, the rebound. Can't handle Jankowski. Nystrom now sends it towards the net. Tip tried, no. Kumper denies. 5:02 to go in the period. Face-off controlled by the Canes. A shot blocked out in front, never got through, I believe. Back up to the point, one-timer denied by Kumper. Another stoppage, both teams with 23 shots on goal, and none of them have found the back of the net. Face-off controlled by Carolina. Back up top, Gostisbehere tried to let it fly, never got through. Ryan Dumoulin gets there for the Kings, and he floats it out of the zone. Carolina will have to tag back up. Hall with a bobble, keeps it alive. He gets cut off by Ceci, and the Kings flip it up and out. Turco tried to send it to the inside. Chatfield with a good cutoff. He gets knocked down. That's a penalty. Our first of the game, delayed whistle, and there it is. The Hurricanes are going to go to the power play for the first time tonight. And it's Alex Turco who gets called for the trip. And with that look, it actually looks like it's going to be a cross-check, and it is, as Turco goes to the penalty box, and our first power play of the game for either side comes here for the Hurricanes, looking to strike first in this game. Face-off control by the Canes. Gostisbehere lets it fly, and he scores! It's a power play goal for Gostisbehere, and the Canes break the ice. And it was actually redirected out in front by Sebastian Aho, who gets credit for the goal. And Carolina strikes first immediately to start the power play. Gostisbehere gets credit for the assist on the tip out in front by Aho, who redirected it home. Carolina strikes first here at the 15:56 mark in the second period. And now Los Angeles will have to play from behind here on the road. Svechnikov sends it in on net, sticked aside by Kumper. Adrian Kempe battles in the corner. Kings will get it out. Kopitar, who just served the penalty, looking to send it to the inside. He has nowhere to go. Svechnikov takes it away for the Canes. Ehlers gets pestered on his way in. Another penalty called, and this one is on Carolina. Interference is called on Ehlers as he got into Kempe's way. So now, immediately after Carolina scored on a power play, the Kings get one in response. See if they can cash in to tie this game. Byfield will face off against Stahl. Power play for the Kings. Carolina wins the face-off. A big hit delivered. Byfield keeps it in. Outside, and Perry, the one-timer, blocked out in front. Good defense by Chatfield. He clears the zone. Good start to the penalty kill for Carolina. Perry will start the break in for the Kings. Now Byfield. Byfield pestered on his way out. Keeps it in. Inside, denied off of Anderson. And Carolina clears, flagged out of the air by Stahl, who feeds it in deep. Dowdy bobbles behind his own net. Armia pestered on his way up. Armia feeds it in behind the net. Only Carolina is there. Stoll on the outside flips it up and out. Good penalty kill to start here for Carolina. 51 seconds and counting on the man advantage here for the Kings. Kuzmenko gets hit hard in neutral ice. Kopitar keeps it alive for Los Angeles. Kuzmenko can't handle it. And Carolina flips it out again. 30 seconds and counting on the power play. Dumoulin gets back for Los Angeles. Kuzmenko keeps it alive. Kopitar now on the outside. Takes it in. Fires. Saved by Anderson. On the backhanded try. Chatfield clears the zone for Carolina. Dumoulin gets there first for the Kings. Final seconds tick down on this penalty. Kempe intercepted in center, and the Canes survive. Ehlers floats it outside. Button hooks back. Inside pass off a body in front. Hall into the corner. Back to full strength the Hurricanes. Back behind the net. Ehlers keeps it alive. Back up to the point. Nikishin. Ehlers. Hall flings it into the corner. Back behind the net, Carolina. Out in front, blank off a skate out in front. Ehlers keeps it alive. Up to the point, Miller. He lets it fly. That one's blocked. High off the window, stays in play. A lot of zone time here for Carolina. Kempe gets there for the Kings, and they finally get it out. Turco brings it up ahead for Los Angeles. He floats it in deep. Walker gets there first for the Canes. And here comes Hall, and now outside to Carrier. Final seconds tick down of this period. Intercepted in center by Kopitar. He floats it to the near side as time expires in this second period. The Hurricanes finally break through. The lone goal in the game comes in that second period as they lead 1-0 after 2. It is the start of the third period here in a 1-0 Carolina lead. This game has been pretty evenly played. The difference, a power play goal for the Hurricanes in that second period. And we are back underway for the third. LaFerriere outside. Kempe flips it on net, and Anderson stops play. Pitching a shutout bid right now is Anderson. He has made all kinds of stops in this game. He has been a brick wall as the Kings are trying to break through. This one, there was one in the first period that deflected off the crossbar, and then Anderson reached back and laid down on top of the puck and kept it out. Face-off in the Hurricanes' end, controlled by the Kings. Anderson off the body in front. Kempe keeps it alive behind the net. Out in front, LaFerriere can't handle it. Back up to the point. Anderson, one-timer, blocked out by Aho, and here he comes. Sebastian Aho feeds it in. Adrian Kempe. Kopitar, back to Kempe, fires. Anderson deflects it, it goes off the top of the net and stays out back behind. Aho can't handle it. Kempe turns over Kopitar up to the point. Anderson, Doughty, one-timer blocked out in front. Goes to the far half wall. Miller gains control. Carolina exits the zone. Here's Ehlers. Ehlers gets around into the slot. Tipped and just wide. Doughty gains control. Kopitar back up ahead for the Kings. He turns it over to Hall, who feeds it in. Wrapped to the other side. Stankoven kept in by Stahl. Into the slot. Gloved down by Kumper. Face-off control by the Canes. Gostisbehere taken away by Armia. Good stick, and here he comes. Jailbreak denied by Anderson. Goes to the far side. Fogle inside. Score! It's Armia on the doorstep, and the Kings have tied it. What a feed from the outside. Anderson blocked the first one, and then a pass right on the doorstep. And Anderson gives up his first goal of the game and ties the game at 1 apiece. Here for the Kings. Off the inside of the bar and in. Brand new game here early in the third, tied at 1. Face-off control by Los Angeles. Tied at 1 here. Kings finally break through here in the third. Armia right back in. Tried to send it in, and Anderson finds the puck. 17:41 to go in the third. Face-off here in the Carolina end. Not very cleanly won by the Hurricanes. And Blake will bring it out. Gets a shove up ahead. Gave him a little bit of a boost. And Kumper finds the puck. 17:27 to go in the third. Face-off control by the Kings in their own end. Armia looking for a center. Back behind the net. Back up to the point. Edmondson. Fogle. Clark. Blocked out in front. Byfield keeps it alive. Inside Clark. Whiffed on the shot attempt. Kept in by Edmondson. And now an intercept in center by Stahl. Here comes Martin Hook for the Hurricanes. Drops it off. Stahl whiffs. Edmondson takes it away. That one gets flung in on net. Blocked down by Kumpra. Penalty call. Delayed penalty on the Canes. Extra skater in for the moment for the Kings, and now a whistle. And another power play here for Los Angeles. Cross check on Martinook. Right into the back of Edmondson. Easy call for the officials and our second power play of the game for Los Angeles. And trying to take the lead here in this third period. Kopitar will face off. He loses. Here to Carolina. Robinson will feed it in around the boards. Fiala up top, pestered by Sebastian Aho. And the Kings will get it out. Kuzmenko to the near side. Kempe tried to cut inside, couldn't get a clean one off. Anderson might have poked that one. Fiala off the goalpost. Stays out. Chatfield gets there for the Canes. Kopitar keeps it alive. Kuzmenko right through the crease. Fiala keeps it alive. Still a bubble on the right wing circle. Carolina gains control. They clear the zone. Sebastian Aho whiffed on the shot attempt. Fiala cuts him off. And the Kings, big hit by Jankowski, keeps it alive. Short-handed for Carolina. Nikishin downstairs, denied. Rebound Jankowski, keeps it alive. Stankoven wide of the net. It goes to the far side. Kuzmenko gets there for the Kings. They get it out of the zone. Short-handed attack there by the Hurricanes. And now Byfield goes outside. Wraps around the net. Cuts to the inside. Couldn't get a clean shot off, and Anderson finds the puck. 24 seconds to go on the power play. Face-off control by the Kings. This one tipped wide. Just wide of the net. Anderson whiffed on it, but it just does stay out. And Carolina clears the zone with 10 seconds to go on the man advantage. Kings get back quick. Byfield brings it up, turns it over. Back to full strength, the Hurricanes. Stankoven taken away by Byfield on his way in. Canes now 2-0 on the penalty kill. As we're back to full strength here with 14 minutes to go in the third. Martinook deep in the zone, pestered along the boards. Byfield takes it away here for Los Angeles. Floats over to Perry. Perry goes wide, goes all the way through. Martinook gets there, big hit delivered in front of the bench. Walker keeps it alive. He gets cut off by Cece. And now up ahead, Hellenis can't handle it. Up ahead, Stankoven brings it in for the Canes. He loses it into the corner. Clark there for the Kings. Cece now has it. Clark will exit. Near side. Perry Hit hard along the boards. Svechnikov. Now Martinuk up ahead Stankoven. He gets cut off and neutralized. Trading turnovers here are these two teams on this turn. Here's a turnover. Perry downstairs drops it off. And this one's denied by Anderson. 12:32 to go in the third period. Anderson making more good stops. That one just went wide of the net. And Anderson has been good in this game. He gave up the one goal here early in the third to tie us at one apiece. But both of these goaltenders playing very well. As that one just able to get the foot and just wide of the crossbar, or excuse me, the upright, as if you will, if we're watching football. $12:32 to go in the third, tied at 1. Face-off in the Carolina zone, controlled by the Hurricanes. Carolina turns it over. Fiala down low. He gets pinned against the boards. Turcotte now has it up to the point. Dumoulin lets it fly, tipped out in front. Turcotte's got it, trying to flip it inside, and Carrier takes it away for Carolina. Nice drop, feeds it on net. Rebound controlled by Ceci. Kuzmenko feeds it in. Circles the boards. There is Nikishin here for Carolina. And they'll get it out. Stahl brings it in, tried to load up. He gets poke checked on the near side. Dumoulin. Ceci now has it. Kept in by Carrier. Stahl turns back in. Fires off the blocker of Kumper. Goes into the corner. Turcotte gets there for the Kings. And Los Angeles will exit the zone with Kevin Fiala. He turns it over at the blue line. Nikishin stretched past the Hall. Stays on sides. Behind the back pass where Blake can't handle it. Helenas gets hit. Turns it over to Ehlers. Ehlers sends it in deep. Kings get there first. Fogle will exit the zone. Up ahead to Turcotte. Turcotte feeds it in around the boards. About halfway through this third period, tied at 1. Ehlers pinned back behind the net. Hall gets there into the corner. Carolina gains control in their own end. Nice run, pestered at the blue line. Feeds it to the near side, and Blake quick pass to Ehlers. He gets pestered on his way in, and Carolina turns it over. Kings working it in their right end to turnover. Hall flips it in on net. That one never got through. Ehlers poke check by Edmondson, who takes it away for the Kings. And Los Angeles back the other way. Edmondson feeds it up off sides on the Kings. 9:20 to go in the third. Face-off controlled by Los Angeles. Still in neutral ice. Anderson feeds it up, intercepted by Jankowski. He turns back for Carolina. Centering pass out in front. Right on the doorstep, right through the blue paint and wide. And Los Angeles will get it out. Here's LaFerriere. LaFerriere, centering pass, cut off by Chatfield. And Carolina will get it and feed it in deep around the boards. Over to the other side, LaFerriere gets there first for Los Angeles. Canes keep it in. On the doorstep, score! What a feed out in front! It's Jankowski! And the Kerr Hurricanes take the lead! Kumper got out a little too far away from the goal line. He went down to try to block it, never saw Jankowski coming off of his right. And Carolina takes the lead off the deflection. Just did sneak in. And the Hurricanes take a 2-1 lead here in the third period. 8:26 to go. Face-off controlled by Carolina. Right back into the zone. Phillip back to Robinson. Blocked out in front by Anderson. So a 2-1 Carolina lead now here in the third. Kings looking to respond. Here's Doughty. Errant pass kept in by Anderson. And now it floats out of the zone. Kings will have to tag up. Doughty flips it in deep. Phillip floats it in deep for Carolina. Flip and follow. Phillip pesters Anderson, keeps it alive. Try to circle back. One-timer tipped around. Loose puck into the corner. Anderson gets there for Los Angeles. Mallet feeds it in. Gostisbehere gets there. He's pinned along the boards. Hurricanes gain control in their own end. Ehlers to the near side and Jankowski. Jankowski pestered on his way in. Keeps alive. Gostisbehere. Chatfield fires. Sticked aside by Kumper. Goes into the corner. Anderson gets there for Los Angeles. They'll exit. 6.5 to go. Mallet bobbles. Keeps it alive. A shot blocked down by Anderson. Goes into the corner. Stahl pinned along the boards. Svechnikov now pinned along the boards. And the Kings gain control, but out of the zone. They'll have to tag up. Doughty back to Fogle. Drops it off for Edmondson. Kopitar now feeds it in deep. Under 6 minutes to go here in regulation. 2-1 our score. Ehlers exits here for the Hurricanes. Up atop to Stahl. Stahl inside. Intercepted by Doughty. And Kumper finds the puck. 5:40 to go in the third. Face-off controlled by the Canes. Into the slot. Taken away by Los Angeles. Here comes Clark with a head of steam up ahead. Clark trying to dangle his way inside. Sebastian Aho cuts it off. A bobble erases that attempt for the Hurricanes. Here's Byfield. Byfield drops it off and intercepted by Svechnikov before a one-time try could be had by Turco. Aho pestered on his way through neutral ice. They nearly turned it over there, but they get it out of the zone. Ehlers pestered by Armia. Back into neutral ice, Kings gain control. Clark brings it in for Los Angeles. Into the slot taken away from behind by Ehlers. Walker exits for Carolina. He bobbles and turns it over to Turco. He's in. Turco drops it off to no man's land. Ehlers has got it for Carolina. Approaching the 4-minute mark to go in the third. Ehlers tried to feed it in. Good poke check from behind by Turco. Here's Kevin Fiala. Fiala dangles to the inside. Goes outside to Kuzmenko. Inside pass. Good stick by Miller. Stankoven exits the zone for the Hurricanes. Now Hall up ahead. Hall right wing circle. Works it in down low. Hall circles the net. Back out and all the way out. Errant pass goes all the way down. Just over 3 minutes to go here in the third. 1-goal game. Blake poke checked on his way in. Keeps it alive into the corner. Looking for a center. Good. Cut off by Ceci as Blake never had a chance to get a pass off. Turco pestered up ahead to Kempe. Adrian Kempe denied by Anderson. 2:48 to go in the third. Face-off control by Los Angeles. Ceci, top of the slot, back to Dumoulin, floats it inside, and Anderson finds the puck. 2:39 to play. Face-off again controlled by Los Angeles. Ceci, Kempe, backhanded try, denied by Anderson. Another stoppage, another face-off in the Carolina end. As we are under 2.5 to go. Kopitar will face off against Stahl. He wins it. Dumoulin outside. Kempe whiffed. Laferriere now has a chance at it. And it goes into the corner. Kept alive by Laferriere. Dumoulin lets it fly. Tipped off of Anderson. Kopitar inside. Anderson snags it again. 2:06 to play. Kings on the attack, trying to tie this game. Face-off in the Carolina end. Controlled this time by the Hurricanes. And they'll get it out of the zone with Carrier. Stahl, now Martinook. Back to Carrier. Feeds it in deep for the Canes. Dumoulin wins the race for the puck. Under 2 minutes to go. Mallet brings it in. Takes it in. Anderson denies the rebound. Off of Anderson again. Pinned against the wall, over to the far side. Nikishin gets it out of the zone. Kings have to tag up. We're just over a minute to go. Fed in deep by Cece. Getting there first is Chatfield. Carrier brings it up for Carolina. Pestered with 1 minute to go. Turns it over. Helenas back behind the net. Mallet back up top. Dowdy lets it fly off a body in front. Into the slot. Flips over to the corner. Under 50 seconds to go. Robinson exits. He clears the zone for Carolina. Coming down to the wire here in Raleigh. Carolina pesters him along the boards. LaFerriere will bring it up. Kings will empty their net. Extra skater in. Armia fires. Stick the sign by Anderson. Goes into the corner. LaFerriere keeps it alive for Fogle. Dumoulin wide open. Denied. Rebounded in front. Goes wide. Into the corner. Svechnikov has it. Looking to eye the empty net. Flips to the near side. Chatfield. Robinson. Bullseye! Robinson finds the empty net. And Carolina takes a 2-goal lead in the final seconds. And Carolina looks like they're going to hang on and win this one. 17 seconds to go, a 2-goal lead. Face-off control by Carolina. Taken away in center. Gostisbehere now has it. 10 seconds wind down. Byfield takes it away for Los Angeles. They empty the net again. Gostisbehere sends it up. Svechnikov. He's eyeing the empty net. Taken away in neutral ice, but that will do it. The Hurricanes win. 3-1, our final score here from Raleigh, North Carolina. And a masterclass in between the pipes by Anderson. Gives up just the 1 goal here to start the third period. And the Hurricanes, with a 2-goal third period, take it 3-1. Sebastian Aho and company skating their way to a victory here over the Los Angeles Kings. The Hurricanes win it by a score of 3-1. As we say good night from Raleigh.